Good morning, students. I am Upesh Bansal, and we have been discussing about the chapter motion. We have studied almost everything in the first chapter. We are doing the numericals, and today we are on to the last lecture on this subject of motion. I have selected two questions to be discussed today. First question is based on the non-uniformly accelerated motion. You can see this graph. I had drawn this graph where I had drawn the graph of speed versus time. A vehicle starts from rest, attains a speed of 50 meters per second in 5 seconds. That means this is a uniform acceleration. Then it continues at a speed of 50 meters per second for next 15 seconds, that is from 5 seconds to 20 seconds. Again accelerates to 70 meters per second in next 5 seconds. Decelerates to 40 meters per second in next 15 seconds. Runs at a constant speed of 40 meters per second from 40 seconds to 80 seconds, and from 80 seconds to 100 seconds it is under uniform deceleration and comes to rest at 100 seconds. What we have to find is the total distance traveled. So in this type of questions, what we will do, we will divide the graph into various parts. First is this part. This is a uniform acceleration. I will call it as A, and the distance traveled by the object or the vehicle during A is, I'll call it as SA, is equal to the area covered under this line. O, A, B, C, D, E, F. So the distance covered by a vehicle from 0 to 5 seconds is the area OA, and let me call it as G, H, I, J, K is equal to area triangle OAG, that is equal to half base into height. So what is the base? Base is 5, height is 50. So half 5 into 50. That makes it 125 meters. Now remember, the units are in meter per second and second, so distance will be meter. Had it been kilometers per hour and hour, the distance would have been kilometers. Second, let us talk about section B. This is a rectangle of height 50 and base 15. Do remember, it is not 20. It is base is this 20 minus 5. So area is equal to SB is equal to area of the rectangle, that is 15 into 50, that is 750 meters. Similarly, C is a parallelogram where the parallel sides are, I'll call it as SC, half parallel sides. Parallel sides are, one is 50, the other is 70. So 50 plus 70 into gap between the two, distance between the two is 5 into 5. So this makes it 120 by 260 into 5 is 300 meters. Similarly, D also is a parallelogram. So area of D, SD is equal to, again half, the two parallel sides are 70 plus 40, that makes it 110 into 15. That makes it 55 into 15. How much is that? 550 plus 275. Very easy. If you don't remember the tables, don't worry. 55 into 10, 550, 55 into 5, 275. Add the two. How much is that? 750, 825. 825 meters. E is again a rectangle, 40 and 40, so it's a square. So SE is equal to 40 into 40, and finally SF is a triangle, base is 20, height is 40, so half 20 into 40, that makes it 400 meters. Now you see, every section it has traveled some distance. SA is 125 meters, SB is 750 meters, SC is 300, 825, 1600, 400. So what is the total distance? S is equal to SA plus SB plus SC plus SD plus SE plus SF. When we add all of them, we get 125 plus 750 is 875, 1175, 2000, 3600 and 400 makes it 4000 meters. So total distance traveled by the vehicle is 4000 meters. So our first question, find S, we have found out. Now coming down to the second part, find average speed. We know average speed is equal to total distance upon total time. We know the total distance is 4000 meters. Total time is 100 seconds. So when we divide it, we get 40 meters per second. So it's very easy to solve the question, but we have to follow the steps. We have to find out the area in each and every step. Suppose I ask you now, in this question itself, how much distance the vehicle has traveled from B to C. So you have to just tell me SC, that is 300 meters. How much distance it has traveled from D to E. So D to E we have taken as A, B, C, D, E, SE, 1600 meters. Simple. Average velocity we have found out. Don't confuse it by U plus V upon 2. U is 0, V is 0. Don't confuse it. It is a non-uniform motion. U plus V upon 2 is not applicable for it. I have been telling in my various video lectures, don't use the formula V bar is equal to U plus V upon 2 simply because it is a non-uniformly accelerated motion. Moving on to our second question, which is on uniform circular motion. Now in this question, I have given you that a cyclist is going around a circular path. Now let us first try to draw the figure. This is that circular path. A cyclist starts from here and goes around this circular path and covers the distance in 2 seconds. So T is equal to 2 seconds. 2 minutes. T is equal to 2 minutes. Now when I said minutes, immediately convert it into 120 seconds. That means if the cyclist is starting from here, he covers the whole area, comes back here in 120 seconds. Now, next thing given is the radius of the track is 105 meters. This is 105 meters. So what is the length traveled by the cyclist? That is 2 pi r in one revolution. 2 pi r is how much? 2 into 22 by 7 into 105. So this is the length in meters traveled by the cyclist. Time is 120. So I will write it like this, 120 into 7. This makes it 15, 8, 4. So it is 11 by 2 or 5.5 meters per second. So the speed we have calculated very easily. The speed of the cyclist is 5.5 meters per second. Although what speed we are giving, is the circular speed. Now the second part of the question, if the radius of the tire is 0.7 meters, find the speed of the tire. Now try to understand, we have found out this total circumference and we know the speed. Now this speed and the speed of the tire should be exactly same. It should not change. Let us see. How many times the tire rotates in one circumference of the track, that is this, or I can say 1050 by 7, that makes it 150 revolutions. That means it makes 150 revolutions in 120 seconds, or I'll say 1.25 revolutions per second. If I am asked to find out how many revolutions the tire makes per second, it is 1.25 revolutions per second. And if I am asked to find out the speed of the tire and the speed remains same because it is 5.5 meters per second. If the speed of the circular speed of the tire changes, this also will change. Right? So that was it from this chapter. If you have any doubts or if you have any questions further to be helped from my end, do not hesitate to put those questions or to put your doubts in the comment section. Definitely will be helping you out. Moreover, we have been taking up this lecture during our online classes also. So we are taking up very tough questions in that. Hope the students have been enjoying those tough questions. If you want to take part in the online classes, do not hesitate to put your comment to this video lecture. We will tell you the process how you can participate. It's totally free at present, so you can participate in our online classes also. Till then, take care, have a nice time, enjoy the life, and thank you very much.